talking tonight, or we just run a blind?
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sevierville, Tennessee. My name is Dan Mayer. I will be your announcer here tonight for session number 2 here. We are in the Great Smoky Mountains, the Sevier County Fairgrounds here in Sevierville, Tennessee, for night number 2 here of the TNT Championship Tractor and Truck Pull Series. The TNT circuit, very popular in the state of Kentucky. They do have a couple events down here in the state of Tennessee, and we're going to bring you all the action here tonight here on Full Pull Live. We've got 6 exciting classes of competition here tonight, and we are just about ready to get things rolling here tonight. We've got the 3.0 diesel trucks will be our first class of competition here tonight. We'll have the 6,200-pound two-wheel drive trucks. They will follow. We've got the light limited supers here tonight. They will be our third class of competition. We've got the hot rod tractors, and then we do also have the hot farm tractors and the super modified four-wheel drives will be our 6 classes here of competition here tonight. So taking a look out on the track right now, looks like the track crew finishing up their final prep work here. Once again, Full Pull Live bringing you all kinds of action here this fall season. Next weekend we'll be down in Raleigh, North Carolina. Make sure you get down and check out, if you're not down in the Raleigh area, make sure you check out Full Pull Live, as we'll be bringing you all 4 sessions from down there, that Region 4 event with the NTPA. So make sure you do tune in. $39.99 will get you all these fall events here on the Full Pull Live schedule. And as we take a look here once again out on the track, looks like we're just about ready to get things rolling here. The following week we will head down to Texas. We will have the event down there in Lufkin, Texas, the final outlaw pull of the season, as champions will be crowned in the super modified two-wheel drive class, the pro stocks, and the multi-engine modified class down there in Lufkin, Texas. So that ought to be pretty neat, different event down there, and kind of a simulcast working with the outlaw circuit down there. So lots of great things coming here to Full Pull Live here this evening, as we've got the event here in Sevierville, Tennessee, just at the foothills of the Smoky Mountains here, and a very nice backdrop here to this event. This actual fairgrounds runs pretty much parallel here with downtown Sevierville, Tennessee, the main drag, Highway 66 that takes you down into Gatlinburg. So we see some of our competitors there making their way back to their pulling vehicles. We just had a driver's meeting, and everybody's kind of getting everything ready to roll down there. So it looks like we are ready to roll here with our 8,000-pound 3.0 diesel truck class here tonight. Very popular class. We saw, 19 trucks in competition here last night here at this TNT circuit event. Now, last night we saw the diesel trucks run last in our program. They flip-flopped everything here tonight. We're going to start off with the diesel trucks. We'll have the two-wheel drive second here. So a little flip-flop here. So track conditions be a little bit different here for these competitors. So looks like just about ready to get things underway here. As we take a look at our lineup here, we should have William Christopher out of Paris, Kentucky, will be our first puller up here with the high roller truck. He'll be followed by Mark Andrews and the Public Enemy out of the state of Virginia. Then Justin Tipton out of Versailles, Kentucky, with the Reaper truck will be our first 3 up here in our competition here tonight. So as we take a look down at the starting line area, we see the sled here tonight, going to be Bo Simpson's Southern Express sled, going to have the duty of stopping all this high horsepower here tonight. Now, last night we had just about 80 hooks in competition here tonight. I think we did lose a couple competitors here, as had some engine damage and some other issues on some of these vehicles. So I think we'll be down just a little bit here, but they're calling the first truck up to the line here, Mr. William Christopher out of Paris, Kentucky, going to be our test puller here. Now we're going to talk about the 8,000-pound 3.0 diesel trucks here tonight. Of course, 8,000 pounds, that is a maximum weight. Tractor and truck pulling, the only motorsport where weight is an advantage. All their sports you go to, whether it's drag racing, stock car racing, you want to be light, not in pulling. You want to be right at that maximum weight, and you cannot weigh more than 8,000 pounds. So very popular class. We've got a lot of the heavy hitters here in the 3.0 diesel truck class that run up on the PPL Midwest circuit here, are down here this weekend for this event. As we see the house announcer, Jeremy Krieger, down there getting the fans all fired up down here as we get things ready to roll here tonight in our big Session 2 event here for the TNT Championship Circuit. And, of course, we are going to have a champion's crown here tonight. We're going to send things down to, the person in charge here at the TNT Championship Pull here with Jason Schultz.
Hey, Terry, I was hoping we had a little bit more time. I hear our first truck coming up, but Saturday night we switched to pulling order. What are you looking, as the in-flight person, what's your different take on this from a Friday night to a Saturday night?
Of course, we rework the track each night, so I have to kind of look at the track, look at my pullers, the ones that are pulling. I kind of have to know my trucks, basically, or tractors, see, kind of judge the track to know whether I can set it in or not, or if I need to look at a second vehicle. So it's kind of a multitask thing. So I got to look at how the truck runs, how the track grabs, and sometimes I pull it out good, and sometimes we don't.
Well, I'll let you get to work, Terry. Good luck tonight. Thanks for all that you do.
Thank you.
Dan, back to you.
All right, so looks like Mr. William Christopher on the starting line here, going to get us rolling here in our 8,000-pound Limited Pro Stock diesel trucks, the 3.0 trucks. 460 cubic inches underneath the hood of these trucks. That is the max. Now they'll run one single turbocharger. It is 3 inches on the inlet side. Now turbocharger, nothing more than a big air compressor, runs off exhaust pressure. As here we go, out of Paris, Kentucky, our test puller. Here comes the high roller. What a way to start tonight's program. Saturday night here in Sevierville, Tennessee. As the high roller makes his run here in our 3.0 diesel truck class, now it'll be decision time. You see our finish line flag lady. She's giving right now the thumbs up, thumbs down on whether or not that William Christopher was happy with that pull. And we'll see here whether or not he's going to give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, and whether he can take that pull. Now, we give him that option simply because he hasn't seen anybody else go down the track, so that is one of the important rules of the sport of pulling. Also helps the officials determine whether or not they got that weight box, that weight sled set perfectly. So we'll get the distance in here for you and let you know whether or not William Christopher is going to take that run here tonight. So it's a beautiful day here in Sevierville, Tennessee. We had temperatures right around the 80-degree mark. It's going to get a little bit cool here as the sun goes down. But the track crew been working on that track all afternoon long here, getting it ready for session number 2. As we see the Southern Express sled making its way back to the start line here. Of course, Mr. Bo Simpson. So 3:11 and 48, our first distance of the night here. 3:11 and 48 for William Christopher. And he is going to take that option. So he is going to drop that run. So 3:11 and 48. He will drop here tonight. And we'll let you know whether or not he will drop to last in the class or drop 6th position. So it will be his determination on where he is going to go in our class here tonight in our 3.0 diesel truck class. So William Christopher with the high roller going to drop it here tonight. Now, last night had an 8th place finish here in our big field of 19 trucks. Here tonight, looks like we lost one. We're down to 18, but still a very solid field. As we see, the man in charge of this TNT group down there on the start line area, Mr. Eddie Carey, and he's going to keep things rolling for us here tonight, keep these trucks coming up to the line, as we've got Mark Andrews up next here out of Stevenson, Virginia, with the Public Enemy truck. Now we got, looks like competitors from 4 different states. We've got a whole bunch from Kentucky. We've got Virginia represented, as well as New York and Pennsylvania in our competition here tonight, as we see the old school Ford making its way out on the track here. So Mark Andrews up next here in our 3.0 diesel truck class. So once again, these trucks producing right in the range around 1,500 to 1,600 horsepower. They're allowed 158-inch wheelbase. Only allowed DOT, street-approved tires on there. No cutting allowed. So they've got to run the pattern that came with that particular style of tire. As this is, like we said earlier, this is the final hook here for 2024 for the points go here with the TNT circuit. Hook number 16 out of 16 here. So the Public Enemy Ford, we took a look at the Dodge early on, the first truck in the class. That was the Public Enemy, or I should say the High Roller. Here is the Public Enemy right now, the Ford out of the state of Virginia, as we get ready to go here with Mark Andrews. So he will set the mark to beat here. See, having just a little bit of trouble making sure everything's lined up down there. We run a primary chain as well as the kill switch to this truck. So the Public Enemy Ford machine looks right around a 79 or so Ford, as now we'll set the mark to beat here. Now remember, William Christopher turned down that run of 3:11.48. He's going to be coming back a little bit later on. So our first official distance here in our 3.0 diesel truck class here tonight, the Public Enemy Ford. Now, for those fans that might be joining us here for the first time, the object of our sport is to see who can pull that weight transfer machine or sled the furthest distance. And that will be our winner here. So 286.20, 286.20 will be the distance here. Now the mark to beat here that the rest of the class will be shooting for. So right now that run for our first puller, William Christopher with the High Roller, looking pretty good here. 3:11.48. He turned that run down. Now you can see as the sled makes its way back to the starting line area, there's an orange cone set up back there. Each and every competitor has that option where they can put that sled. You can put it anywhere you want between the white lines out there. Speaking of our track editions, here tonight we've got a 330-foot marked out track, approximately 40 feet wide. See the white lines each side of the track. Any portion of that pulling vehicle touches those lines, you will be disqualified. And we did see a couple competitors last night unfortunately get disqualified. So we'll bring out our next truck here, going to be Justin Tipton out of Versailles, Kentucky. Here, the Reaper truck. Justin running for points here on the TNT circuit, currently sits in the number 9 spot. So we will crown champions in all 6 of these classes here tonight. So we'll bring the Dodge out here, the Reaper. A lot of the trucks that run on this TNT circuit are Dodges here. We've got some other makes and models that come from other circuits here, but most of the trucks that run here on the TNT circuit are the Dodges. So as you can see, he's got that sled spotted just a little bit left of center out here to get things rolling. Once again, our mark to beat, 286.20. And the truck out of Virginia right now leads the way. That's the Public Enemy Ford. So we'll get the slack out of the chain and we will send the Reaper on his way here tonight. Once again, no jerk starts and pulling. You must start with a tight hitch. As we see official down there on the start line gives the green flag. That means the track is clear. We are ready to go. Here comes the Reaper. All right, a little bit of a bounce there for the Reaper truck here tonight, and we'll see what the distance comes up here. And here in pulling, we measure with a laser crew setup at the end of the track. We'll shoot the laser off the sled at the starting line as well as at the finish line, and we will measure up to a 1,000th of a foot here if we have to. Usually we'll just go 2 decimal places or 100th of a foot, but we can go that extra if we need to. So 301 even here, 301 even for the Reaper truck. and he is going to be our new leader here tonight. So great run here for the truck out of Versailles, Kentucky. Now Versailles, right around that, just west of the Lexington area, a hotbed for a lot of truck pullers. So the Reaper truck takes over that number 1 spot. A great run, 3:01 even, as he will now set the mark to beat here. So we'll put the Public Enemy number 2 right now, 286.20. Once again, run a season-long point system, just as most circuits do, and the points are awarded to the pulling vehicle. A lot of these pulling vehicles will have multiple drivers throughout the pulling season. And as long as that that driver is registered, the points will go with that vehicle. So moving right along here, we'll have Shad Giles up next here out of Columbia, Kentucky, the Totally Distracted truck. Once again, another Dodge. And Shad coming off a 5th place finish last night in session number 1 here for the 3.0 diesel trucks. Sitting in that number 7 spot in the points here. Now he's going to move that sled over here right of center. And already we're trying to get around there. A little bit of a, well, I would say more or less like a whoop-de-doo right in the middle of the track there, right around that 200-foot mark or so. And of course, track conditions will change here throughout the night. Of course, right now the sun making its way down into the west here. The sun goes down, that moisture comes up in the track, and you can see as you look at the track from that view right there, some of the shiny spots on that track. That's where that moisture starts to work its way up here. And of course, those conditions will change as that sun goes down. There's a good head-on shot here of Shad Giles' Totally Distracted ride. G&L Farms sponsored on the front of that. So 3:01 even, the mark to beat here in our 3.0 diesel truck class. Sevierville, Tennessee, night number 2 here on Full Pull Live. For those folks just tuning in, we're on truck number 3 here out of our 18 in the class, as this will be our 3rd official distance here tonight. Nice run for the Totally Distracted ride out of Columbia, Kentucky here tonight. That's going to be Shad Giles. So you can see a little bit of a hop here. Now, most of these 3.0 diesel trucks, matter of fact, all of the 3.0 diesel trucks run the dualies now. It's very seldom you see a vehicle that doesn't have the dualies on them. Of course, 6 tires working a lot better than 4. So 3:07 even. We've got another new leader here. 3:07 even for the Totally Distracted team out of Columbia, Kentucky. They will take over the number 1 spot here, as we'll have our leaderboard. Once again here at Full Pull Live, we'll keep everything updated here right up to the last vehicle that pulls. So you can see 3:07 even for the Totally Distracted truck. I think track conditions are going to get a little bit better here as we run these trucks through. They don't run the cut tires. That's what we talked about earlier with those DOT tires. Those DOT tires just don't dig into the track like some of those cut tires and tear that track up as much. All right, so we should have Travis Pushler will be up next here out of the state of New York. So we got a couple trucks out of the state of New York. The Pushler family, they run a diesel repair business up there in Chittenango, New York, which is just outside of Syracuse, New York, right in the central part of New York State up there. Travis and his wife Jen run these diesel trucks, and well, they've been doing a lot of pulling this summer. They ran out on the PPL Midwest Regional Circuit out there all summer long. They finished up their pulling season over there just about a month ago over in Lanesville, Indiana. They had their final event. And the Pushler family putting a lot of miles on this summer is running that regional circuit, but had a whole lot of fun doing it. So we'll see what Travis has got for us here tonight. Nice second place finish for this truck last night. Good looking GMC out of the state of New York here. He calls it the Matrix. So once again, our new leader here, Shad Giles, and the totally distracted Dodge leads the way at 3:07 even. As we back in Travis Pushler here. Tough class of these 8,000-pound 3.0 diesel trucks. Of course, all the vehicles, before they pull, they will go through a tech inspection as well as over the scales before they hook to that sled. Following the TNT rules here, the TNT truck and tractor pull circuit, based out of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. So slack out of the chain. We see the Travis puts the window up, puts that air conditioning on, puts the radio, and he's ready to go to work here tonight. 3:07 even. That's what he's got to be. Okay. If that one camera, if we could have when Jason's ready to go, I can kind of see what. So the Matrix, a real nice run here. The truck out of New York, and I think we're going to stretch it out a little bit here. Excellent job here. Travis looking to improve on that second place from last night. And speaking of hardware, we've got some really big trophies to give out here. Jeremy Krieger down trackside, the house announcer here. They handed out a whole bunch of hardware for these competitors. So 315.19, 315.19 for Travis Pushler, and he is going to be our new leader here. So 315.19, new leader here in our 3.0 diesel truck class. As you can see, really got that ground speed going as he burns it in there at the top end of our pulling track here tonight in Sevierville, Tennessee. So new leader in our 3.0 diesel truck class, Travis Pushler with the Matrix 315.19. Now we've got Zach Crouch coming up here next with the Black Ice truck out of Waddy, Kentucky, just east of Louisville. He will be next up in our lineup. Now, for those fans that are watching us on Facebook as well as YouTube, well, we are going to turn off the free live stream after this next truck. So if you want to see the rest of the action, you can go to Full Pull Live and $39.99 and see the rest of tonight's action, as well as the next 4 weeks. We've got all kinds of action coming from coast to coast. We'll be in North Carolina next week and end up in California in the second week of November. So for those fans that are watching on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to end that here at the end of this truck as we bring in the Black Ice truck and Mr. Crouch. Now, by the luck of the draw, Zach hooked very late in our class last night and unfortunately was not able to crack into the top 10. So definitely would like to improve on that here tonight. This truck got quite a few lights going on it. Can't really see it here in the daytime, but boy, I'll tell you, when the lights come on at night, it gets dark. This truck really sharp. Got those blue lights underneath here. But of course, that's the second thing on his mind right now. Right now, you'd like to take over that number one spot. 315.19, our lead distance here in our 3.0 diesel trucks. Here comes the Black Ice. Side of the track here for the Black Ice team out of Waddy, Kentucky. I don't quite think he got that 315.19. We see our official checking underneath the truck. So these trucks have to run the mandatory drive shaft loops on them. 301.49, 301.49. Kind of looked a little bit better than that. Thought he was a little bit further down the track, but as you saw right there on our replay, hit that bump spot out there. Yeah, we see something underneath the truck dragging a little bit there. So